Today we're going to speak about narcissism and how to use narcissism as a platform to help you with spiritual growth. Here we go. If you've experienced narcissism in your life, you know that it comes with a healthy dose of guilt, shame, harsh inner critic, generally feeling really bad about yourself. There's often a residue of depression as well. And a narcissist in the past had a vested interest in keeping you insecure, on edge, and in an adrenalized state. Step number one to help to use narcissism as a platform for your own spiritual growth, I say discover the benefits of yoga. Yoga teaches us how to reduce our anxiety and come into a more balanced state. So when you learn about the breath work, when you learn to utilize all the parts of your lungs, when you feel the diaphragm rise and fall through the breath work, you'll notice anxiety is significantly reduced. When anxiety is significantly reduced, you have clearer thinking and you feel better. That's a great step in this, stepping back into your power and the authentic version of yourself, which the narcissist tried to erode. Step two, I encourage all of us who have lived with a narcissist to find good cognitive therapy, good support from a coach or a therapist. Pete Walker's book, I talk a lot about it on this channel and also in my blog. Pete Walker's book about complex PTSD from surviving to thriving. That's a great book. It really helps unwind the knots so you can understand the unfolding of your life as it happened in the presence of a narcissist. There are many other specialists who work with those of us who have experienced the effects of narcissism in our life. I encourage you to audition your therapist. So go in, audition them, stay in your power, find the therapist or the life coach that most resonates with you. Be open to learning from them, but also stay in your power. Because again, a narcissist tried to undermine your power. Go in, stay in your power, be discerning, and audition a therapist or a life coach. Step three includes exploring yourself as a person, a being of subtle energy. So for instance, if you take a walk in nature and you're really communing in nature and feeling yourself as a part of nature, that's a subtle energetic experience where you feel lighter, you feel carried, you feel more at one and at peace with your world. Another example of subtle energy awareness is through the power of sound. And I personally often sing. I use a harmonium and I often sing, and you'll see on this channel that I have practices that help with subtle energy awareness in the different centers of the body called chakras. Singing is another way to get in tune with yourself as a being of lighter energy, more refined energy, more subtle energy. We also want to learn how to guide that energy. So for instance, coming to your heart is a subtle energetic experience. You have the ability to come to your heart space right now, to feel warmth at your heart, to feel goodness at your heart, and to allow that warmth and that goodness to flood through your body and being. This is a subtle energetic experience, the experience of love, the experience of acceptance, the experience of inclusivity, and the experience of giving yourself love. So probably the biggest component of taking the dysfunction of narcissism and converting that into a beautiful compost to help your spiritual growth, perhaps the biggest component is self-appreciation. Self-appreciation is found when you come to the quiet time, the quiet moments in life, the silent, still space, the moments when you pause between in-breath and out-breath. Diving into those seams where you feel a quietude and you experience yourself as something more. You feel deeply connected and you feel in union with a greater energy force. I call it the landscape of all life. Therein, you develop this appreciation for yourself that goes far beyond your title in your world, the kind of car you drive, the clothes you wear, who you associate with. You develop this true appreciation for a life force that lives within you. And therein, deep self-appreciation is built in. So organically, the experience of self-worth arises. The experiences of feeling better about yourself and others, it will naturally, organically well up through your being, and it will be a very wellspring of your understanding of who you are. I'm a big proponent of not only exploring ourselves as a being of subtle energy, exploring the spiritual side of ourselves, but also weaving in that experience with potent cognitive therapies so the mind understands it's no longer locked in its childhood state. We are adult spiritualists. We now have the ability to step forward in our life, be empowered, and embrace the full experience of our being, which includes the mind as well as the heart. We take the dysfunction of life with a narcissist and we turn it toward positive flow, toward positive reclamation, weaving ourselves into the wholeness of all that we already are. Hare Om.